Hari Om. Start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. After analyzing the Pancha Koshas, 5 Koshas, and now the Acharya is now discussing what is that beyond the 5 Koshas. That is essentially defined as Sakshi. Sakshi means witnessing consciousness, because of which all the koshas are functioning. So it is Panchakosha Vilakshanaha. It is different from the 5 koshas. And Avastatraya Sakshi. So we are looking at the sloka 213 of the Vivekasudamani, where the nature of witnessing consciousness is being defined. Now these are meditative slokas. One has to sit and see yourself that I am that, by rejecting process. Not only just listening, having understood, one has to go through the process of inquiry and rejecting what I am not. That is what involved in who am I inquiry, not just repetition of who am I, who am I. I am this expressions here, which is Swayam Jyotihi, which is self-shining. How do I know myself? It says you don't need to know by yourself, because it's self-revealing entity. How do you know the sun is shining? When you open your eyes, you cannot but see sun shining there, as long as my equipments are functioning. Therefore, because it's a light of light, and even the outside light is lighted by this. Because when they say, how do you know that the sun is shining there? If I am not conscious of it, I may be sitting there unconsciously and looking at as though open my eyes and looking at the sun, I won't know whether the sun is there or not. Because even the sun is shining and doesn't need any other light, has to be known by another light. That light lights even the least light. That's called Jyotir Jyotihi Swayam Jyotihi. It is light of light. In the other ones I had to light it, or some other process is there for lightning, but here it is natural by consciousness itself, and that is Swayam Jyotihi. That's what Swayam Jyoti implies. It is self-revealing entity. And therefore, there is no phala vyapti in this. Once I remove the ajnanam, automatically I see myself as I am. And that is going to be discussed more elaborately in these slokas. It says, Ayam Atma Swayam Jyotihi Panchakosha Vilakshanaha. This is sloka 213 that we chanted. And it is Avastatraya Sakshi. So it is not only Sakshi of the whole thing, it says now it is a Sakshi of Avastatrayam. And this is where the Vedanta differs from all other sciences, because all other sciences are only analyzing the data of the waking state. That is only objective world, chemistry, physics and everything is done only in the waking state of the objects and analysis of the objects. This chemical is different from that chemical, or the rules of the physical behavior is different from that. All that is related to the waking state only, and we make a theories out of it and say there is nothing other than this, and we are trying to find a fundamental particles that is appearing in the particles physics in the waking state. Waking state is only one of the 3. So I am experiencing the waking state, I am experiencing the dream state, I am experiencing the deep sleep state. States are changing, but I am a waker in the waking state, I am a dreamer in the dream state, I am a deep sleeper in the deep sleep state. States are changing, but I am changeless entity. I am different from the states, because I am moving all over. I cannot be that. If I am that, I cannot go to next state. I will be stuck in that state. Therefore, the states are changing, but I am the one who is playing the role of a waker in the waking state, dreamer in the dream state, deep sleeper in the deep sleep state, but I am therefore independent of the state. And that I am has to be known. Who is that I am? I am existent entity, I am conscious entity. What I am conscious of changing all the time. So I know chemistry knowledge, I know physics knowledge, everything knowledge is knowledge half only. But who am I? I am very knowledge because of which every knowledge takes place. And that's what is called the Bodha Rupaha. I am the very source of knowledge in the sense that without me, no knowledge can take place. If there are particle or not, I have to be there to say there is a fundamental particles. Without me, particle doesn't say there is. So until then, it's only probabilities only. Is the chair there in the dark room, or is the chair there even in the light room in the other room? So how do I know? Unless I go there, the existence or non-existence of the chair cannot be established. From my point, since I don't know, it says it may be there, it may not be there. So 50% probability that it is there, or 50% probability it's not there. So knowledge is only probabilistic. Unless conscious entity comes into picture and makes a contact with the object or absence of the object, that's also an object. Absence of the called abhava rupam is called also knowledge, because if I say there is no chair there, so how do you know there is no chair there? You're not seeing it. That's why I'm saying there is no chair there. But how you say, is there no gaga boo there? So what is gaga boo? Say, now you cannot say it. So what I'm saying is, I know what a chair means and I know what attributes of the chair means, but no, there is no object with those attributes that I am familiar with. Therefore, I say there is no chair there. So, I have already preconceived notion, understanding in my memory what a chair is. Therefore, I can say there is no chair there. New object, I should know at least the attributes. So, someone asked me to go to airport and to receive Mr. Rao. So I never met Mr. Rao, I don't know how it is. So he tells you, hey, he's around 6 feet long, he's a little bit fat, and he has a mustache, and he smokes cigar or whatever, and he wearing a dhoti, and you'll see him, and no, there's none of like that. All that attributes of Mr. Rao has been given, whom I don't know. I have not seen Mr. Rao. So with these attributes, I go to a train station and looking around, say, who is Mr. Rao here? And says, if you ask, hey, Rao means 100 people say, I am. So there are a lot of, that's common name in Andhra and even Mysore also. So therefore, I cannot say who is Rao there, and all I had to do is based on the attributes, I had to do process of negation. The fellow who is 2 feet tall or the fellow who is only 4 feet tall, dismiss him, he is not Mr. Rao. According to Mr. Rao is 5-6 feet tall. So therefore, anybody who is less than 6 feet is rejected. And of all the 6 people, says this guy has a mustache, big mustache. Anybody who doesn't have a mustache, even though they are 6 feet, they are rejected, not from Mr. Rao. So by process of elimination using the attributes, I had to reject, I am not that. This is not Mr. Rao. Now how do I do? I have to use the process of discarding the things that I am not this because any this comes under drishyatvat, bhautikatvat, sagunatvat, savikaratvat, agamapayitvat. All that means it can be known, and anything that is known cannot be that. And it can be the made of material, anything that's not made of material can dismiss. And it can be the gunas, qualities, attributes like Mr. Rao has, anything that has gunas cannot be. So all these that we are talking about, including Anandamaya has gunas, Manomaya has gunas, Vijnanamaya has gunas, and Pranamaya has gunas, and of course in the Annamaya Kosha. So anything that has gunas is not that. I am Nirgunaha. And that's what is being pointed out here. It says, Avastatraya Sakshi, Tan Nirvikaraha, which does not undergo any modification. Everything is body is changing continuously from the childhood body to adulthood, continuously changing, and now slowly Asti, Jayate, Vruddhate, Pranavate, Pakshiyate, all 6 modifications of the body undergoing, and I am conscious of all those things, therefore I am different from all of those. And I myself is the same body when I was a child, same I am when with a different bodies. So when I am conscious of the changing bodies, I am not the body, therefore I am something other than the body. San nirvikaraha, niranjanaha, Essentially here the anjanam is not related, or impurity also anjanam, and it's unrelated to anything also. So that anjanam, niranjanam means no relation to anything. At the same time, its very presence makes everything also. I am related to her, I am related to all I can say only because I am a conscious entity. Chair doesn't say I am related to this table or something. So relationship also occurs because for a conscious entity, but relationship is only occurring in the gunaless level, in the form level. This form is related to that form. So I say I am related to her, I don't say this body is related to that body. Someone went to Swami Chinmayananda introducing his wife and said, "Sir, this body is married to that body." I don't need to use a strange language just because I am a spiritual seeker. I can use for transactional purposes that she is my wife, even though I am beyond this I-ness and my-ness. So one has to be careful in terms of application, at the same time understanding also. This is a cognitive understanding that I am none of this. Nirvikaraha, nirvikaraha, niranjanaha. So I cannot have any relationship because why? I am ekameva advitiyam. I am one without a second. There is nothing second for me to relate it to. So therefore no relations possible with respect to Satchidananda. And Sadanandaha. Sadananda is always happy. I don't know why my father gave me that name. Must have his own vision of that I'll be going after, at least looking for Sadananda. So I am Sadananda. I am constantly happy. So when I introduce myself, I am Sadananda to Swami Chinmayananda, he burst out with laughing. So you are Sadananda, I am Chinmayananda. So Sadananda is always happy. That's one definition. And also it can be split into Sat plus Ananda, pure existence as well as the Ananda Swarupam. Chit is there, that's why he is Chinmayananda. So Chit plus Anandam is there, and Satayeva Chit, Chittayahyaham. This is from the Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Sat is same as Chit, and Chit is I am. In the Upadesasara it says. So Sadananda Savigneyaha Swatmatvena Vipaschita. So that I am, that has to be known. Savigneyaha. By Vipaschita. By the discriminative intellect. By Panditaha. So Pandita one who knows this, and those seekers here, has to be known by this. By the analysis. Using the buddhi, one has to know that I am not the buddhi, I am not this, I am not this, has to be done by rejecting, that's called essentially nishedham, or negating that I am not, while using that. It's not that I am not the chair, I can easily say, because the chair is different from me. But here, these two are inseparable. I and this are inseparable. Therefore, I am this is the transactions, and even this negation process is being done by the buddhi only. So, I am the buddhi is there. At the same time, I am part is different from buddhi. That has to be done by the viveka. I am part is changeless. That is avasthatrayam, and that is what panchakosha vilakshanaha has to be understood, and that has to be known. How can it be known? It is unknowable, because anything that is knowable is drusyatvat. That comes under the kosha only. So what is the knowledge? Knowledge is by negation of what I am not. It is swayam jyotihi. It reveals itself by itself. And we gave an example of where the Sureshwaracharya in the Naishkarmya Siddhi gives this example. When I enter into the pitch dark room, I need a torchlight to see anything. So I am focusing torchlight at each point, each object. Yeah, there is a chair here, there is a table there, and that I am looking each object by illumining that object. So I need an illumination to reveal the object. I am not bringing the object there. Object is there, but I had to reveal the presence of the object through a torchlight, and I had to see it also. Not torchlight alone will help. I had to be behind the torchlight for me to see when the torchlight illumines. Now I see a pot there, and the pot is upside down. That is also illumined by the torchlight. the existence of the pot is known because I am illumining with the torchlight and I am there seeing the torchlight. Now I go there and lift that out of curiosity because it's upside down. When I lift it, then I saw a candle burning there. Now, do I need a torchlight to see the candle that is already burning? The candle itself is the source of light. So as soon as I lift, I can see directly. There is no palavyapti. Palavyapti means there is no fruit of seeing there. When I see a chair, there is a palavyapti is there. But this is not of that type where it is self-revealing. It's called the vyapti. Vyapti is not, palavyapti is not there. And therefore, when I negate everything, what is the one who is negating is the one who cannot be negated, and that I am is self-knowing. So when the direction is pointed out, you are that, which is because of which you are able to negate everything, and because of which you say nothing is there or everything is there, that you are is independent of any process. And that has to be recognized. So it has to be known, means it is there all the time. It has to be recognized. What's the recognition here? That's why it's called aparoksha jnanam. Aparoksham is not pratyaksham or paroksham. Pratyaksham is directly what I see, and paroksham is that I cannot see through the senses, and because it's far away beyond the limits of my senses. That is the paroksham. So it is aparoksham. It's not a far away. At the same time, I cannot see because my knowledge is not visible there. I am only seeing superficial entity, not paying attention to the subtle entity that is there all the time. So it is myself in every seeing, because I had to be there in the knowledge of everything. And when do I negate myself? I can negate the whole world. I can negate the waking world. I can negate the dream world. I can negate even the deep sleep world, but I cannot negate myself. I am the knower of the deep sleep state by saying, I slept very well. I was there sleeping very well, and sleep is gone. Now I am awake. So sleep state I can reject. Waking state I can reject. I go through all these states, but I am that beyond the three states, and that's what the scripture calls it, Turiyam. It says, Nanta pragyam, na vyagi pragyam, no bhayata pragyam, na pragyana ghanam, na pragyam, na pragyam, adushnam, avyavaharam, agrahyam, adosh. All that comes into the picture essentially because that which cannot be objectified, but it is the very that because of which every object is there. Ya chachusha na pasyati, ena chachum sapasyati, tadeva brahma tam vidhi, nedam yadidam pasyati. That which eyes cannot see, that chachusha na pasyati, ena chachum sapasyati, that because of which eyes can see. That means I am there because of which eyes can see, and eyes cannot see without me present behind the eyes. The mind has to be there, and the mind itself is inert. I am there, that has to enliven the mind also through the reflection process, and I am the original one, that is real seer, but from my point I do not see at all. I don't need to see at all. In fact, there is nothing for me to see. All that is implied here. Therefore, it is a direct claim that I am that has to be claimed by the process of elimination, because I am self-existing and self-conscious, and I am not a prameyam. I am not an object of knowledge like any other objects, but I am the very subject because all objective knowledge takes place. And pratibodha viditam matam, it is known in every knowledge also, and that is the statement of in the Kenopanishad. And say, if I reject everything, I am not there, there is nothing there after that, because I rejected. Yes, there is nothing, means no thing there, but one who says no thing has to be there. And that says, essentially, scripture says, asanneva sabhavati, asad brahmeti veda ched, asti brahmeti ched veda, Santamevam tato viduriti. This is from the Shruti statement. This is quoted by the Chandrasekhara Bharati. It says asanneva bhavati. So one who denies the very existence of the God, he is denying himself. existence of that pure truth is essentially denying, because he is the truth. So, no, I am not there. It's a statement like I am not there. Who says that? Fellow who says that I am not there, he has to be there to even to make a statement. So, asanneva bhavat sa bhavati asad brahmeti ched cheda ched. If one says there is no Brahman here, if somebody says that Brahman is pure Satchidananda Swarupam, and this is what is called negation of the Sunyavada of the Buddhism. It says, if there is nothing there in that, once I reject everything, there is nothing there, it is Sunyam. It says, the very fact that you are able to say it is Sunyam, and that's what a student is going to ask. He says, you are only rejecting your own existence because we say you are the truth. And you say, oh, I am not there. If by very statement I am not there, you are proving your own existence. So therefore, asti brahmeti ched veda santamevam tato viduviti. So Brahma asti iti veda, to know, and that in fact is the santam, is the very existence alone is what to be known as my own nature. At this stage, the Sishya will ask the same question that I have raised. If everything is not there, then there is really nothing, and then who is a knower, what can be known? And this is the question that the Sishya will ask, that we will take up in the next talk. Hari Om. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.